We're going to be covering sensitive societies. What the actual heck is actually going on, my dude? What do we have going on here? And we know that the video is going to be a banger because it's starting off with the Sam Hyde clip. I mean, if you don't know the Sam Hyde clip, it's legendary. I don't understand how you cannot have seen this and not thought it was hilarious. Now, this is how to actually do a joke. I've had a lot of Hassan fans come into my thing and talk about how his stuff in the past, like his insane comments about Rick Scott were a joke when he literally says, "Now this is why I would actually say to do it." Like, this is a comedian. Hasan is just a weird, insane radicalist on the internet. But we're gonna actually see what's actually going on. I guess this has to do with H3H3. So, massive day for the unemployed, like WestJet would say. But we're actually talking about sensitive society, another big commentary YouTuber. But let's get right into it. I'm excited.
You got anyone you want to call out in the heavyweight division?
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hassan Piker. I'm coming to kill.
Spend quality time with you and play Fortnite in your lovely house in LA.
I'm going to stalk him and become obsessed with him and wear his makeup and his dresses.
A few hours ago, one of the craziest things happened when it comes to Twitch, Hassan, H3H3, and yes, there's peak unemployment levels. Gather your buddies, grab everyone.
Dude, I miss old Keemstar so much, dude. Now, new Keemstar's fine. He's just not. I miss old Drama Lord, dude. I miss the pre-2016 days of the internet when it was just like, let's get right into the news. Pokemon's being a stupid little whore or whatever. It was just so great. Now, I know Keemstar has his L's, but early commentary was so fire. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, dude, I don't miss Leafy and all that stuff. I do. I miss when it was, like, super savage on the internet and super fun. You can make fun of anybody. I don't like this desensitization that we've got going where everybody's in their little cliques. Like, I like the fact that you should be able to make fun of anybody equally. I try to do it on my channel all the time. I see Matt Walsh make a brain dead movie review. I make fun of Matt Walsh. I see Hassan being an absolute lunatic. I make fun of Hassan. I like making fun of people on the internet. I get a lot of things where like, oh, well, you're doing all this politics stuff. I'm like, no, I'm just making fun of people, dude. I'm just here for the chaos, my dog. I'm here to be like soft edging, slow jerking in the background. I have that DSP headbang going on because I love this drama so much.
Around you, the world needs to see this massive, insane update to everything. But why am I saying this? What's all this yapping about? What is yapping about? So H3H3 Ethan Klein returned to Twitch after a minute and decided to play on loop the Hassan Piker content nuke. And then he also said this.
I say this merely, what I'm about to say is merely an experimental suggestion, act of protest. It is by no means an endorsement for violence, nor do I want anyone to do any act of violence. It's purely a thought experiment. I just want to make that as clear as possible.
I want to say in this right here, so Ethan, like a few weeks ago after he got off that Ozempic grind, he was looking pretty bad, dude. He was looking sunk in, dude. He looked like he was sucking and tucking underneath bridges for some crack, but he's starting to look a little better. He's starting to get some fleshed out in his face. I mean, yeah, he went from like, okay, I'm grinding, I've lost the weight, now let's kind of put some back on so I don't look like a meth head. I don't look like Daniel Larson. So that's good. Looking healthy again.
My thought experiment is if somebody on Twitch says someone should blah, blah, blah Dan Clancy, would they get banned for one day? Is that just a one-day ban? Because that would be an interesting experiment. Not that anyone should say it, or obviously, again, not that anyone should do it. But I do think that there's an interesting experiment potentially here in seeing how consistent their enforcement rules are. Because theoretically, that should just be one-day suspension, right? I mean, it's not as bad as even threatening or endorsing violence against a sitting elected official.
You would think if Twitch was consistent, nothing would happen, right? Or if something were to happen, he would get a one-day ban, because apparently on Twitch, you can get away with telling people to go and kill someone or making it a call to action. Be like, well, you know, someone should kill this guy. I mean, here on
I mean, they are right. That's exactly what Hasan did. And here's the thing. I 100% understand where, like, Hasan was coming from in, like, the idea that if there is fraud should be called out. But there is a way to talk about it, and I get so annoyed. I get so annoyed with the idea. This hat is driving me nuts. Every time I look over at my camera, I just look like a fucking loser. But I mean, that's not far off from the truth, guys. But every time I see, like, anybody from Hasan's community come into my chat and they're like, well, you just like this, or you just don't like Hasan because of these ideas. And I'm like, not about the ideas. The premise of, like, when there's fraud and there's issues in the government, you should call it out. That is truthful. But to wish death and then to go to an extreme like that, and then later downplay it as a joke when you weren't joking, that's just such that's one, you're gaslighting your audience. Two, you're an absolute goon goblin. Hasan is a goon goblin extremist, and that's where the problem lies, because it's rules for thee and not for me type bullshit, and I don't stand for that.
strike, and that video, you know, kill blank YouTuber. It's like, well, yeah, I'm going to get a strike, and that video will be taken down, and rightfully so. And you want to know what the craziest part of everything is the fact that Ethan Klein got banned from Twitch for showing the content nuke, which is just Hasan being exposed for promoting terrorism and, you know, everything else he's done. So you don't ban the guy that's actually saying all of this crazy stuff. And once again, Hasan is never beating the allegations with Tom or Dan Clancy, whatever the fuck that gooner's name is. He's never beating the allegations that he's constantly protected by Dan Clancy, because Dan Clancy loves him, and, you know, he wants a Hassan Piker meat in his mouth. He wants that Lizzie.
Dude, he just wants to take Hasan's man meat and just all the way down, dude. It's so crazy. So now a little pretext here is Ethan Klein got banned off of Twitch. 100%. He's gone. He's nuked. His content nuked got him nuked. And it's so insane to me, because if you watch the content nuke, if you actually watch it, instead of just being like fan base captured by Hasan or whatever, you will see that he comes at it from a leftist perspective of like, I'm a leftist, but this is insane. This is an extremism. Which you should call out extremism in your own communities. I think that is fair. If I was like Ben Shapiro, right? Or actually, this is a great point. Ben Shapiro recently came out and was like, we should pardon the dude who did the Floyd George Floyd thingy. Yeah, dude, we should pardon him. No, I don't agree with that. The dude deserved some sort of charges. He like, now you might be like, well, we should still pardon him because it was he didn't deserve first-degree murder. It was a political blah blah blah. Sorry, dude. He literally had George Floyd in the back of the car, and George Floyd asked to be laid on the ground, and he was like, you know, that sounds like a good idea, man. Instantly, once he allowed the perp to dictate what was going to happen next, he failed as a cop. He then led to that situation happening. He should have had him in the back of the car. He said, if you are feeling unwell, we will take you to the hospital. Boom. Problem solved. Hit on those flashing lights, take him to the hospital. What? Like, why are you letting the perp dictate what happens next, and then proceeding to stand on top of the dude? I can say that with like full certainty, right? I know that it's a hot, politically contentious issue, but as a cop, he failed his duty in that situation. I fully believe that. Now, a lot of the other situations that popped up after the George Floyd thing were a little bit egregious, and they were trying to, anytime there was a situation where a cop killed anybody, they were like, oh no, they're definitely just being racist, and like it got a little bit contentious and all over the place, and some of them is like, well, the dude had a gun and was shooting it at the cop, of course he's gonna shoot back. Or the dude was chasing him with a knife, of course he's gonna shoot back. But like the George Floyd thing, I 100% believe that he at least deserved manslaughter for sure, because he let the perp dictate. And this isn't, I'm not even talking about race here, nothing about this is racial. I'm saying in perspective, me watching that video, that cop did so much stupid shit in that situation that he deserved to lose his job and at least get a manslaughter charge. Now, first-degree murder, I don't know, but the precedent you would set by pardoning him, absolute cringe. And that's, see, I think you should be able to call out people that sometimes you really do agree with. Like, there are times where I do agree with Ben Shapiro. I think Ben Shapiro is spitting facts. And then, on the other hand, I can look at, like, Ethan, and sometimes he's spitting facts, but then he'll go on these, like, pro-censorship arguments, and I'm like, bro, you literally were one of the edgiest people of all fucking time, and now you want to pull the ladder up and not let anybody else who's edgy come up just because you decided you want the internet desensitized? Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. You should be able to criticize people you watch at any point. No matter how much you like them, you should be critical of them all the time to a certain extent. And when they do shit that's wild, you should be able to call that wild shit out, and still, you can still consider yourself a fan of theirs, but say, hey, I don't agree with that take, right? Is that crazy? Am I fucking insane for saying that? Don't let yourself get fucking cult mind fucked at all times. Wow, dude, crazy concept.
God, it got banned for encouraging or glorifying extreme violence.
Whoa.
That's fucking
wow.
That's Hassan's content that's on your platform that he didn't get in trouble for. Holy fuck.
Interesting.
Whoa! You guys don't believe me? Look at this.
Too. I mean, I believe you. We can pull it up.
Is it safe to show?
Are you sure? Oh wait, before.
Come on, show it to Dan first, please.
Okay, he says so.
Okay.
I have the button.
Encouraging or glorifying extreme violence. Yes, that's it.
Wow.
How long is the ban?
Well, it should be only a day ban, right? In theory.
Well,
in theory, it should be no ban because it's his content.
Guys, I got a 30-day ban.
30 days?
30 days.
Dude, Hassan gets 24 hours for literally saying, let's straight up blastoids a senator, but Ethan just shows his crazy shit that he says. He doesn't even have that clip in this, dude. He doesn't even have this clip in it. All he shows is Hassan's unhinged nature 24/7 in his content nuke, and he gets a 30-day ban. That's wild, dude. And this is what I've talked about in the past about Twitch not enforcing their platform equally. Now, in my opinion, it should just be all free speech all the way. Fucking let's go, baby, let's go. But that's not what Twitch does. So I stand here talking about the hypocrisy. I don't think Hassan should be banned. I really don't. I think Hassan has every right to speak his nonsense and I think other people on that platform, as crazy as if like Nick Fuentes was out there, and I hate Nick Fuentes. I think Nick Fuentes is an absolute goon goblin. But that cum falcon deserves to be on Twitch as well. I 100% believe that. If you're going to have freedom of speech, just allow freedom of speech. If you're going to have one extremist, allow the other extremist. Eventually, people will see them both for their idiocracy and realize that they're not the people they should be listening to, and then eventually drift back toward center because they'll see some pushback. But when you have like a weird over censorship only to one side on a platform, you're going to create zealotness like we've had on Twitch. That's a fair thing. I mean, I don't understand how people can't see this. I feel like maybe I'm fucking preaching into the void, but whatever.
And I didn't even say
Anyone that tells you, oh yeah, Twitch is against Hassan is the underdog. I mean, we gotta support this guy. Dude, Twitch backs him 1,000,000,000%. It's fucking insane when you actually think about it. Twitch banned the guy for 30 days, that guy that's exposing all of this, bringing attention to it. You ban the guy that's calling out this behavior that happens on your platform every single day. Yet the guy that's saying all of this stuff every single day, he gets a 1-day ban. What is Twitch? They're never beating the bias allegations, and they're never beating his son Piker lover allegations either. 30-day ban for you, even though you did nothing wrong. I mean, the bias is real. It's not a conspiracy theory. That's not just the Hassan Piker haters. He could do no wrong. Then Ethan posted this: appeal denied. Your account was recently suspended for encouraging or glorifying extreme violence. You mean the extreme violence that Hassan is always...
Dude, literally everything Hassan's done and like craziness. And like this is something when I posted the video about Hassan getting banned, right? I posted the like banned thing, and in that video I am fairly fair to Hassan. I don't like say that I think he deserved to be banned. I think that his stuff, like if something were to happen to Rick Scott, it could be pulled in a like he could be liable for like in a civil suit, but I don't know if he could be liable in a criminal suit. So I did say that, but I also said like I don't know if he should be banned for that. I don't know the legality on it, and I wasn't like celebrating him getting banned because I am pro freedom of speech. I talked about the hypocrisy, and this right here is a complete highlight of the hypocrisy going on Twitch. It's like, dude, Hassan can go on Twitter and see somebody he doesn't like, and then post the gun that killed not Shinzi Mikami. That's a video. The I can't remember his name, dude. The Prime Minister of Japan. He posts the gun that was used to assassinate the Prime Minister of Japan underneath like politicians he doesn't like, and then he's constantly saying that we should off anybody who disagrees with him. He's talked about sending people that he doesn't like to re-education camps, and then like but if somebody on the right would say stuff like that, which would be egregious as well, I would call it out for being egregious, like I have in this thing. Wow, dude, look at this fucking menstruation tsunami coming in with logic and facts. I'm here to tell you that pussies can't get wet. But it's just like, if somebody on the right said that, I would call it out, but at the same time I think they have the right to say their nonsense. It's just, but they would get banned and Hassan doesn't, and that shows an egregious overuse of censorship and hypocrisy on the platform.
Putting on the terrorism propaganda, that kind of violence. Nah, Twitch is a fucking joke, and I hope no one takes that platform seriously. I still think it's better than Kick, but at the same time, anything is better than Kick. For as many faults that YouTube has, it's never been Twitch bad. I'm not saying YouTube is perfect, but it's light years ahead of.
Well, and here's the thing about Kick, and I think Kick has a lot of problems with the promoting of gambling, which I'm kind of iffy on the promoting of gambling. I think that's just my mindset growing up in Nevada where gambling was everywhere, and I was just like, if you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't, you don't. But, and I think that Kick does need to figure out their kind of lane that they need to ride in, because there's a lot, like, freedom of speech, awesome. I think we should always allow freedom of speech. But I think that a lot of things go overlooked because there lacks moderation policies. Like, there's been people who are like trying to rizz up 12-year-olds on fucking Kick, and that's gross. That's disgusting. That's disgusting behavior. And I think Kick needs to kind of figure out a better balance, and there are newer platforms, so I think eventually they do have the promise to do something good on Kick to kind of counteract that idea of the over censorship on Twitch. But I think that by them being attached to the gambling, and also they're way too lax moderation where they're not actually going after actual predators on the platform, I think that they need to figure out their moderation. I think that then they would be a good counteraction to Twitch. But until then, we just have one platform that over censors and the other over moderates, and then the other that under moderates to the point that it's kind of a dangerous place to be on, that you don't have that actual like logical place. And that's kind of why I stream here on YouTube, because even though YouTube does have issues with upholding their policies genuinely, I think that they do a much better job than both Kick and fucking Twitch. It's like I can say more on YouTube than I can on Twitch, but I'm also not going to be in the same realm as the predators over on Kick. Now, that might be an L take. I don't know. A lot of people tell me all my takes are L, and I should just go fucking bury my head in the sand with my ass up so that everybody can walk around and fuck me in the asshole. But who knows? Who knows? I think that maybe I spat some knowledge into the universe, but who knows?
Whatever Twitch is. For the love of God, this is the same Twitch CEO that literally had employees sing happy birthday to Hassan Piker on their lunch break. Happy birthday!
Hey Disney Plus, you should stream the.
Dude, it's just, dude, like that was so cringe, and that just shows a bias. Like I don't. The moment that happened, it was just forever. Anytime he would he complains like Twitch is like after him or anything, they had like at one point he had to break through a line, and they had to like pretend to like, oh, we actually care about safety and stuff, and we'll give him a little bit of a ban, and they do one day, but then anybody comes out against him, and oh no, look at that, he's a fucking gooner, and we should ban this guy because he's talking bad about Hassan, and we love Hassan. Look, we'll sing him a happy birthday. It's fucking cringe. If your entire office is is this into one guy and they're this far like out into the fucking wastelands of their political ideology, you have a problem. You have an issue. You should try to create your team of as many different viewpoints as possible. You should have multiple different viewpoints. It's just, to me, logical that you have a bunch of different viewpoints, because then you're going to have a more like, well, these left guys say, hey, this right wing guy's way out of line, he's going too far, and you're like, okay. And then your people that are right wing are like, this left wing guy's going way out of line, going too far. And then they can see it from both perspectives. They can actually have a discussion about it, about if they should be banned or not. And there's at least other viewpoints at the table. I think that's fair. I think that actually shows real diversity in thought. Wow, crazy. I'm over here for more diversity than fucking Hasan.
Dear Hassan,
this is crazy.
Happy birthday to you.
And then this was apparently manually reviewed. A member of our team has reviewed your appeal, and after taking a look into the details of your case, we have determined that your account will remain suspended due to the violation of our community guidelines. And then maybe 4 to 5 hours after everything went down, they unbanned his account. And one of the reasons why he was banned for politics and sensitive social issues. Are you insane? Where's the Hassan Piker banned for this? Like, legit, why are the people who are just talking about it, why are those the ones getting in trouble? And then here's a screenshot of them being unbanned just a few hours later, and Ethan says, 99.9% sure Hassan called Dan Clancy and told him to unban me because it looked cartoonishly evil and dumb. The appeal was denied. I don't know what's going on. Like, either A, Twitch employees were fighting, they were like, we should ban him. And then another one was like, well, I don't know about that one. You know, they had an argument for like 4 hours, and then, or Hassan called Dan Clancy. It was like, yo, honey, hope the kids are well, I'll come over in 5.
And I do think that it's good that they unbanned him, because like, otherwise this shows egregious, it shows the most egregious amount of radicalization to one ideology, and that's bad. That's a bad premise to set on your platform. And even if Hasan did call, that's good on him. I would give Hasan a W if he was like, yeah, I saw them ban Ethan, I said that's not cool, we might have our disagreements, but in the realm of thought, we shouldn't be policing thought. I'd be like, wow, Hasan finally having a logical take. I think that is the right way to go. And I think that it's never bad to have differences of opinion, and you should, like, if you are of a certain perspective and you see somebody else of a certain perspective, you shouldn't agree with them on anything. That's fucking nutjob behavior. You should be willing to push back and have a grander ideas, and like, oh, well, dude, you're being a little fucking crazy right now. Maybe you should tone down the rhetoric because you were a fucking nutjob. And then other guys like, you know, that's fair. Having that pushback, I never think is a bad thing.
You do me a favor, can you actually unban Mr. Ethan Klein? It makes me look bad. I think that's most likely the possibility. They were like, yo, this looks so bad if we continuously censor the people who are calling Hassan Piker out. What other takeaway am I supposed to have? LMAO, wait, he got a 30-day ban for showing Hassan's content, but Hassan didn't get banned for making it in the first place? That's hysterical. H3 getting banned for showing clips taken directly from Twitch is hilarious. It's very clear Twitch is doubling down on their favoritism. I think the most indefensible part is that they gave him a 30-day ban for showing Hassan's own words on their platform, while they only gave him a 1-day ban. Silly you, you're not supposed to question anything, you're just supposed to take it as is. At this point, I gotta believe Dan Clancy is in love with Hassan. Oh, 1,000,000,000%. You know that Dan Clancy has a huge Hassan Piker poster that he jerks off to every single time Hassan is live.
Dude, that poster probably looks like a glazed donut. I'm not gonna lie, dude. He probably never cleans it just because he likes the idea of bukkake Hassan Piker.
Something very wrong with Twitch, their CEO, no shit, and especially their moderation team. The bans are inconsistent. Sometimes they don't even exist. Yeah, Twitch needs to shut down immediately. But then at the same time, I don't want all of those idiots to come to YouTube. What an absolute fucking joke of a site. I wonder what the Hassan Piker fans are going to say about this. Oh, the system tried to shut him down and he's standing up for his rights.
No, they're gonna call him a racist. They're gonna say, of course they banned him because he's a racist or some shit. They always, anybody who's critical of Hassan, they find some weird fucking excuse. Every time I make a video on Hassan, I get either I'm an Ethan Glazer, I'm what do they call him? Sex Destiny. I don't even like Destiny that much. One of my biggest videos on my channel is where I actually Like, go, I watch a video where Destiny's getting called out, and I'm for him getting called out because he was being a gooner. But every single time they find some person, they attach me to being a simp of theirs, instead of looking at my stuff critically. Most of the time, they don't even watch the fucking video. They sit here and they're like, oh, well, obviously you're a part of this community. Obviously you're a part of this community. Obviously you're just a fucking racist. You just hate people because you're a racist. It's stupid. It's fucking pathetic. There's no critical thought behind it. It's just fucking labeling. It's disingenuously labeling people because you don't want to hear anybody with a different opinion, which is just fucking retarded. Like, how retarded do you have to be to have that actual mindset that it's like, oh, well, I see video about my favorite creator, might as well back him with fucking illogical arguments.
Yeah, they're trying to cancel him, despite being constantly promoted on the page and having over 30,000 people live every single day, and then the Twitch CEO being on that Hassan Piker meet. But yeah, guys, they're trying to take him down. It's just like, I don't want to sound like a fucking boomer, but does anyone remember when Twitch was actually about gaming? Not these Twitch thoughts, or these political idiots, or Hassan Piker. Remember where you could go on Twitch and actually see your favorite game being played? He's saying that makes me sound like the biggest fucking boomer, so I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, with that said, thanks so much for watching. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, or else the Twitch CEO will come to your house and tickle your feet. Meanwhile, a Hassan...
Yes? Dan Clancy, you're welcome to come over anytime and suck on my toes. Could you imagine how gross that would be? Could you imagine how gross just some old dude shows up at your house? I'm gonna suck on your toes, and you're like, hey man, I don't know. How about you leave? No, not until I get some toesy posies in my mouthy wouthy. And you're like, no, I'm gonna call the cops. Please get the fuck out. But yeah, no, that's kind of the Ethan Klein situation right now. I think there is, this showed an extreme bias, the bias that we've all known about, that has existed from the beginning, and it just shows it on display that you can't be critical of Hassan, and they had no choice but to reverse this idea, because only progress forward was after banning him. If they would have held the 30-day ban in effect, all they'd be proving is how radicalized their moderation team is, how crazy Twitch is bias-wise toward, like, extreme left-wing ideology. And that's a problem. It's like, I have no problem with people who have extreme views. I obviously don't like them, but I think they have the right to speak because I'm a First Amendment absolutist. I think that is how we get the best dialogue. I think that's how we get the best comedy. And yes, the downside of that is there's going to be insane people talking on the internet. But the best process, and it's all about personal responsibility, is anybody you watch, you should be willing to be critical of them. You should be willing to do your own research, and I don't think it's up to these platforms to make the decision on what's okay for us to watch in terms of speech. I don't, and I don't think, like, I've seen people like call out Hassan for not moderating his chat. That's fucking retarded. You shouldn't be held responsible for what your chat says. That's stupid. Their freedom of speech shouldn't ruin your freedom of speech, because that's, again, like, against my values. But it's just like, I think so wholeheartedly that he has the right to talk, but the hypocrisy on Twitch is the problem. It's never about me thinking he should be banned. I want to make that absolutely clear. But that's the Ethan Hassan drama right now. But yeah, like and subscribe, I guess.